So in today's video, I want to express all the concerns that I have with the upcoming Joker's Wild expansion, as well as Season of the Drifter as a whole, because I do have quite a few concerns with the content we're going to expect during Season 6. And I know I'm not alone in being concerned about Season 6 content, because Bungie has addressed a few concerns already on Reddit. A lot of people are worried about it being too Gambit focused, and the fact that there is no new raid, and I want to express my thoughts on that, as well as some other things that have me worried. So let's talk about the big one very first here, the fact that there's no new raid. Now this is the first content update in Destiny 2 that has not included a raid or a raid layer. Now back in Destiny 1 we had a similar problem. House of Wolves did not launch with a raid, and instead Bungie gave us Prison of Elders as a replacement for a raid. A lot of people didn't believe that Prison of Elders was a suitable replacement for a raid. I don't think it quite replaced a raid, but I actually enjoy Prison of Elders quite a bit. And if we take a look at the Forsaken Annual Pass calendar, Joker's Wild has no really endgame PvE activity. So there's no raid, as well as there's no other endgame PvE activity like a Prison of Elders type of content, at least as far as we know. And the reason this is so concerning to me is because back in Black Armory, or I guess currently in Black Armory, we have both the Scourge of the Past raid as well as forges. And I don't care how you feel about forges, they're not everybody's favorite piece of content, but they are a PvE endgame activity. And the fact that Joker's Wild will not include something similar to the forges, as well as there will be no new raid, that's just a little worrisome in terms of PvE endgame content. Like I said, the fact that there's only one new Gambit game mode, and that seems to be the only new activity that we're going to get. And I wouldn't really count Xur bounties or Joker Wild weekly quest as a new activity. I see those as more of like a quality of life improvement type of addition to the game. It just seems like, looking at this calendar at face value, that there's not going to be a whole lot of new activities to participate in, but more like additional quests, which is kind of a bummer. I think the reason why Black Armory is still holding up is because of the new addition of the Scourge of the Past raid, which is a very fantastic raid, as well as the forges. As much as they're not the greatest PvE content, they are in fact fun to go in and just throw balls at the fucking triangle in the sky. You know what I mean? Like, it's at least a piece of content that's, I don't want to say unique, because it's not too unique in terms of gameplay, but at least it's something different than what we've been doing over and over. And to expand a little bit further on that idea, the fact that this expansion to a lot of people seems to be too Gambit focused, I think a lot of people right now, they already play a ton of Gambit. I see dredgens everywhere. Dredgen really requires you to put a lot of time into Gambit. A lot of people have the breakneck, of course, and there's a lot of reasons why you play Gambit. The malfeasance even. There's just so many reasons to run Gambit all the time, and it's a ton of fun. Don't get me wrong. I love Gambit. It's probably one of the best additions we've ever seen in Destiny since Trials of Osiris back in the original Destiny. I just feel like the Gambit game mode is getting a little bit stale right now, and a lot of people kind of know how most matches are going to play out, especially if you have a stacked team. Not a stacked team, but you're playing with your friends. You guys are coordinated. Mostly every game plays out the exact same. You know, melting point, and then all of a sudden 2 chaos reaches and a blade barrage. I mean, that's just pretty much how it's going to be going down almost every single game, at least for me. And the solo queue experience is absolutely horrible, and no one likes to play solo Gambit, and I don't know if they're ever going to address that problem by adding solo options. Probably not, because mercenary playlists looks like they're just not going to be a part of Destiny, which really sucks. Like I said a bit earlier, it just really sucks that the only actual new activity is basically an extension of an existing activity that most people are sick of at this point. My only other concerns are with the new quests being introduced in Joker's Wild. Do not make them as ball-busting and tedious as they were in Black Armory. I really liked Black Armory. There was a lot of things I think it did well, but sometimes it felt like the quests could really just drag on and were just tedious for the sake of being tedious and grindy for the sake of the grind, and it really sucked and was quite annoying actually to do a lot of the quests in the Black Armory. Now let's talk about some things I'm actually looking forward to in Joker's Wild instead of being so negative. So I am looking forward to Gambit private matches, and I know I kind of talked about how Gambit's getting stale, but I think private matches could actually shake that up. You know, you could make certain rules with your friends, you know, like banning Queenbreaker and Sleeper and all those stupid weapons, and have some really fun competitions. You could have even 2v2 Gambit matches. I think it'd be a ton of fun. Obviously, I'm looking very forward to anything that allows you to go in and customize your experience with your friends. I think private matches are a ton of fun, and I think Gambit private matches make a ton of sense. Could be a really good time. Obviously, that's really good for even people who want to run tournaments on Gambit. I think that's just a great addition. I cannot wait for private matches in Gambit. Another thing I'm looking forward to is learning more about Drifter. I think his character is so freaking cool. I love his backstory and his connections to Dredge and Yor, the Thorn and Last Word and that whole entire storyline. I think learning more about his character and everything that he's got going on is really exciting, and I can't wait to learn more about him. An extension of that is learning about his ship and how the giant ball it drags behind is supposedly a shard of an Ascendant realm. That's pretty damn crazy. Like I said, cannot wait for the story elements actually of Joker's Wild. I think that'll be really great. Supposedly one of these new exotic quests that's going to be coming out with Season of the Drifter is Thorn. This has been leaked by a lot of people. I'm kind of excited to see Thorn come back, but a lot of people don't really want to see it come back, and for good reason. It gives you a lot of, PTSD when you think about everything that did to you back in the days of old. It should be cool to see Thorn return. Hopefully it's not as broken in this game, but I hope it doesn't suck. Looks like there's going to be another exotic quest, so that's always great to see more exotics. Xur bounties. I'm actually curious to see what this is going to entail. Maybe it's like the olden days Xur bounties where it was like an exotic quest type of bounties. Maybe not, who knows. I think the exotic quest system they have now is kind of here to stay. So these Xur bounties, I really hope they're interesting. At least now there's a reason to fucking see Xur, because that guy, he's probably the loneliest guy in the entire universe right now. No one has seen him in years because there's no reason to. So now there's at least a reason to go see his ugly face. Looks like there will be a spring event. Maybe it'll be another Solstice of Heroes event, but who knows. There are some things to look forward to, but I really feel like Season of the Drifter is going to be pretty lacking in terms of new content. A lot of people already say that Black Armory has not enough content, and honestly, this looks like it's going to have much less content than Black Armory did, so that's just a little worrisome, like I said, but I'm going to hope for the best, hope it turns out great. Of course, I want it to be great and keep players, sticking around, but I really am pretty worried. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video if you agree with me, maybe subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.